Hello, ladies.
Hi,
Hello.
Auntie.
Hello.
Welcome to episode 12 of Auntie Listen. We're going to start with our quote. If love is the answer, could you please rephrase the question? And that's by Lily Tomlin. What do you guys think of the quote?
That deserves some thought as to what that means. Huh.
I know, right?
I'm thinking if well, I remember a little bit about Lily Tomlin from my childhood. She was a whole adult, so I wasn't so into her. But if love is the answer, like it didn't come over, it wasn't translated properly. If that's the way you love, then, and I might be way off, but if that's the way you're loving me, or if that's what it looks like, then that's what I get out of it on the surface level.
On the surface level.
Yeah, maybe we need to look at this thing again. That's
Yeah,
what I get out of it. I don't know.
I know. I thought it was very intriguing.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, any other thoughts on the quote? No? Okay. We will turn it over to Auntie Marva for announcements.
What up, what up, what up, good folk? My camera will be off while I'm reading the announcement because I have a few that I need to go over. Okay? Okay. All right. Starting with, I'm sorry, let me go back to my list. Okay. So, Auntie Listen is teaming up with Zeta Phi Beta Sorority to bring awareness to Micah's voice. It's an autism awareness foundation. You can go to Z. I'm going to spell this out for you because it's not a full name, but I'm going to spell it out. They're using a short link. So it's Z is in zebra, P is in Paul, H is in Howard, I is in igloo, B is in boy, 1920.org. That's ZPHIB, which is the letters from the sorority, 1920.org slash partnerships slash Micah's voice. And that's Micah with an S, MICAH. So you can go to that link for more information on that. And there's additional resources, links and courses and education that you can go to. It's the same website /programs dash initiatives /autism dash awareness dash education /course dash descriptions / as well as same website, zphib1920.org /programs initiatives /autism awareness education / that actually is kind of near and dear to us because we have a nephew that is autistic, and he's a brilliant little boy, little Nathan. Can y'all hear me?
Okay, we can hear you now because we
Okay.
lost you for a moment.
Okay. Um, a call started coming through. Um, Sorry about that, y'all. But we have a nephew. He has autism, but he is brilliant and he's talented. He's a phenomenal artist, and we love him. So it's only right that we support the autism causes. Um, Also, um, there is also I'm sorry, I lost my list because the call came in and kicked it out. There's also an event coming up on April 17th. It is my event. It is a networking mixer if you are in the Orlando, Florida area. It's called the Industry Mixer, held at Blue Cafe in Orlando, Florida. Blue Cafe is located at the West Oaks Mall. That is April 17th. We're trying to do this once a month. We've already had the first one. It was a huge turnout, but it was really good success because we had some really cool people that came out from different industries, from real estate, from medicine, from education, from entertainment, the different walks came, and we mingled, we mixed, we shared stories, we laughed, we danced, we talked. It was a great evening, and a couple of people got some jobs. So come on out, April 17th, Blue Cafe at West Oaks Mall in Orlando, Florida. Auntie Janisha. Oh, we had some truck drivers in the building. Whoop, whoop. um, so April 17th, I'm sorry, is the next
Sorry.
event. So on out. if you guys are in the Orlando area. And lastly, do not forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. Share, 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 share. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Twitter, Auntie Listen 52888. You can find us on TikTok at Auntie Listen. You can find us on Patreon at Auntie Listen. You can find us on and follow our affiliate links because yes, we need a little coins, some monies, so that we can keep this platform up and running. Find us on Amazon, Bed Bath and Beyond, Target, Walgreens, and Walmart. But again, follow the pages, like the pages, subscribe to the pages, click that bell so that you can know when we upload a new video and you'll get that notification and share. All right, that's it, y'all.
Yay. Thank you for the
Right.
announcements, Auntie Marva.
You're welcome.
And your event sounds exciting. I wish I was in Orlando. I would come and check it out.
It
We
was
had
a
fun.
lot of fun. I'm glad I was in town and in place so I could be there. It was nice. It was nice.
That sounds like so much fun. Okay, on to celebrations. April 1st, 1582, April Fools. August 1st, Assyrian New Year. April 1st, 2023, Cesar Chavez Day became a federal holiday in 2024. I mean 2014, sorry. April 2nd, 2007, World Autism Awareness Day. August 7th, 1948, World Health Day. August 10th, International Siblings Day. August 11th, World Pakistan's Day. Pakistan's Day. April 13th, and so April 13th we have three. We have Burmese New Year, Cambodian New Year, and we have, I'm probably am not going to pronounce the first part correctly. Songkran is Lao Thai New Year. April 14th, we have Bengali New Year, Tamil New Year. April 15th is Jackie Robinson Day. It's also tax day, so don't forget to get your taxes in. April 22nd is Earth Day. Passover starts. April 26th is Arbor Day. And April 27th is Independent Bookstore Day. You know, I have to include that because I love me some books. So, yeah. So don't forget on April 10th, be nice to your siblings. Call your siblings and give them and say, hey, sibling. Or if they're close, give them hugs. Hang out. Go do something for sibling day.
Oh, we don't have to wait until that day. We can start today. Right,
Well,
Auntie?
you can start today, but the 10th is
Make sure
International Siblings Day. So,
right.
yeah. Our topic today is going to be a very interesting one. So, as you guys know, I joined a couple of podcast groups. And in one of the podcast groups, there's a lady, her name is Chandra Neal, and she was in the early stages of her podcast. She hadn't started it yet. And she wanted her podcast to be about her son who was born blind. And then later she found out that he was autistic. So I wanted to learn more about autism because I had heard of it, but I hadn't actually delved into it. While I was reading the articles, I was like, wait, this kind of sounds like me. And so when I had my next therapy appointment, I talked it over with my therapist. And then after that, he gave me the test because I requested to get the test. And da da da, I'm autistic. And I was like, that explains so much. So I told you guys about my diagnosis, I never really inquired about um, how you felt about it or what you thought about it or anything. So now I'm going to put you on the spot and just ask how you what you guys thought when you first got when you first heard about my diagnosis. So who wants the floor?
I can go first.
Okay.
I really didn't think nothing bad about it, nothing at all negative. It makes sense just from certain conversations we had in the past. It was more like, ah, okay, I can see that. And in the beginning, well, I take that back. At first, I was like, no, we need a second opinion.
Yes, that's what
I
you
said that
said.
first. I was like, no, we need a second opinion. Don't take their word for it because that's always my reaction to every diagnosis from anybody, no matter what it is, whether it's physical or mental. We need a second opinion. But then after I gave it some thought, I think it was like the next day we talked. I think it was the next day, and I was like, okay, I can see where there's some truth in there. It's coming together. Okay, okay, yeah, I can see that. Then it changed to like, let me really, really think about it and put one plus one together. Yeah, I see some signs. I can recognize it. Okay, not as major as it was when we figured out, because we all kind of put two and two together that Nate was autistic way before he was diagnosed. But with you, it was like, don't believe Auntie. They is lying on you. I about had a stroke. Like, no, they is lying. But then after I calmed down and like really, really thought about it and thought and hurt, we talked about it and thought about some of the symptoms and the things that they said from the results. I was like, okay, yeah, it makes sense.
Okay. Who wants to go next?
I'll go. Well, the fact that I have spoke to a lot of people and I haven't did a like heavy duty research into autism, but the people I have met and the kids, they are so beautiful. They are amazing. So I didn't think anything negative of it. I always thought of autism people as earth angels because it's like one like something there, but they just always so got a beautiful energy around them. So even the kids, like especially the kids. So I didn't think anything negative. I just wanted to be supportive wherever I could with, whatever you needed moving forward. So it wasn't a big like, oh, this is gonna be I gotta run up there, nothing like that. I just took it as okay, now she can figure out, the inner work, what she needs to do to balance out certain things and move forward, adjust to life.
Auntie Janisha.
Okay, I thought, well, because I've worked with autistic children and just a few adults, and every last one has been very different. And as far as on you, I see certain things, but I had told you about an article that I read a few years ago about it was, well, the author was saying how when you look at the different traits, that every one of us has some traits. So pretty much they were pointing at the fact that everybody is autistic, right? Believe that
Right.
or believe it not, whatever I do or don't know, whatever. But we do all have our ticks. So
Yeah,
it didn't strike me as anything like it wasn't a wow moment to me or anything. Like I didn't see it as a positive or a negative, except that because you're always searching and trying to understand and you do look into yourself a lot, I thought it was great for you to have something not as a crutch but as a something to say, like how you introduced it here today, um, to answer some questions for yourself. So I was cool with it on that, too. Just that it would help you or could help you to answer some things about yourself as to why you've always or why this, that, and for you. It didn't change anything, it didn't make me. negative or positive. There was nothing of that. But I did think about that article, and that's what I told you too. Um, and it wasn't even to lessen what you were saying about yourself, but it was that, oh yeah, because we all have ticks. I mean, that's just true. We all have our little things and our go-tos, or when we fade out and when we fade back in, and that's pretty much what they do. It's just on a more noticeable level a lot of times, which causes it to be, um, a thing. I'll just say, right?
I
Right.
have a question.
That's all for me.
I have a
Yeah.
question.
Go ahead,
Do
Auntie
y'all
Marva.
do y'all know what y'all ticks is?
Yeah.
So,
Yes, I do.
yeah, so for me, I always knew that, well, I was aware that um I didn't pick up on social cues, and that I didn't always know when people were joking, and that I have huge anxiety in crowds and leaving the house, um and that, but I just thought it was because of the trauma that I experienced in childhood and growing up an only child. I contributed to those two things. I didn't contribute it. Well, I didn't know ab- about autism to even factor that into the picture. So for me, when I was reading those when I was reading the signs, um I was like, "Oh my gosh." And then when I got the results back from the test, it was like finding puzzle pieces to a puzzle I didn't know that I needed to put together. So I was aware of things, but I just contributed to other things. So, yeah. Anyone else?
My my tick, I have a couple of them that I know of, because my ticks are usually discovered by other people. Poochie found my first tick. Janisha found my first tick. Um and it was, and now that I'm aware of it, I don't do it as much anymore. But I used to, I have sinus issues, and I used to do this a lot when I'm changing thought process. When I'm
Mm,
talking and I'm changing thought process, I would do that. Um, Another tick is when I'm thinking very heavy. A friend of mine, she pointed this out to me. When I'm thinking very heavily, when I'm thinking and I'm talking, and I think this was because Janisha had pointed out the other one, so it transitioned into this unbeknownst to me. I when I'm thinking very heavily and I'm talking as I'm thinking it, like I'm, let's say we're having a deeper conversation and I'm thinking about what I'm saying as I'm answering whatever the question is or whatever, I trace. And even when I'm not thinking about it, when I'm just talking and just, or sorry, deep in thought, and I'm daydreaming or my mind will wander, I trace. So I'll trace like borders of things. Like even since this podcast has started, y'all see the blue screen, the little blue trim around our picture. I've
mhm.
traced about 40 times already. I'm sitting out here by the pool. I done traced the outline of the pool I don't know how many times. And I'll turn the screen around. You see the screen? I've
Yeah.
traced all of these little blocks. I'll sit here and I'll trace these blocks. I'll trace like emblems on people's shirt. I'll trace people's glasses. And I never noticed that I did that. And then another tick that I have is and I'm trying to grow out of that because I don't know where it came from, but like touching certain things. Like I have to touch certain things.
Mm,
Like I don't know. It's weird. Like I have to. I can't explain that one at all. But I have to touch things. I have to touch certain things. I don't even want to go into detail because it's weird.
okay. Uh, Auntie Michelle.
Shaking up my leg is one. When I'm like nervous, anxiety, kind of hitting me, I shake my leg heavy. Um, Upset wise, no. Of course, like I speak loud when I am passionate about a conversation. Um, I got other little trait like eating up the ice, nervous. My nervous. I have like a. I never diagnosed, but I used to shake, but now I don't see myself shaking. Since I got up older, because I used to just tremble. My hands used to not, I didn't have a steady hand, and so I used to shake a lot. But now that I eat ice and you know, yeah, or I go to rumbling in conversations. I'll like nervous. I'll it's more when I'm in deep thought, I will dismiss myself from the whole environment around me. So I could be there, really not there, but yeah. So yeah, that's a few of mine. Oh,
Okay. Auntie Janisha.
I share the one that Auntie Marva was saying about the touching,
Mm-hmm.
and it used to be really bad. We would even make it was a joke between us because if you touch one side, you have to touch the other side, and it's just very weird. It's funny, and it's like, but it was a thing. Like it really messed with you if you didn't do that. Like, uh, um, I also something that I don't know if many people know because a lot of people do this and we all have our learning styles. But for me to just hear something, I don't always get it unless I write it down. Like I have to do it two ways at the same time. But I train myself to do those things if I'm able to. And
Mm.
um, the I love being I'm one of those social people, but I'm not social with the people like that. I like being around people, but it's like I'm standoffish. I can't handle the energy that I place myself in all the time. It's too much.
Yeah.
I've never when I was younger, we used to ride in cars. Like a lot of the children I've worked with, they don't like it loud. It bothers them. And I noticed how when I used to be riding in the cars with my peers and my siblings, whatever, and the music up loud, I hated that. I absolutely hated it. And either I would suffer or I would have it down initially or something like that. Somebody always, because they like the music loud, so they would say something about it. But I made myself suffer through those things because socially, that's just what you did in that time. But I've never liked that. Um, there's actually a lot of things that I'm coming to terms with now. Um, Repeating myself. I've worked with a lot of the children that I've worked with. They have that where they'll keep repeating, and it does mess with my relationships now, the communication, because it's seen as something else. But that's what I have come to understand. It's a part of that thing, or maybe a part. I don't know, but anyway, it's something I do. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but that's one of
that's
that.
okay.
But that's what the one article said. It was signs of autism in female adults is, well, one of the things that they say about autism with females is that they tend to mask the signs of autism, because they just follow what their peers are doing. And so
Hmm.
that's why it's harder to diagnose in females. And so, and one of the biggest things for me when reading the article outside of the social difficulties was the sensory sensitivity, which when I read that, it made me think about when I was dating this one guy and we were sitting in his kitchen and he was doing his dishes and I was telling him that his water was too loud. And he was like, "What?" I'm like, "Your water is too loud." And he's like, "Okay." And then he was just looking at me like I lost my mind because I was telling him that his water was too loud. And but yeah, so but even in my own house, I know that my my water in my kitchen is louder than the water in the bathroom. So, um, so yeah, and anyone who feels that you know their child might be having difficulties um, with social or anxiety or any other things that other children don't do at their age should contact their pediatrician and have them checked. But I've listed some articles. There were a lot of articles. One that I did was understanding undiagnosed autism in adult females, and that was posted by the UCLA Health. And then we have like this, and it gives you like the sign, what's the signs to look for. There's a lot, so you could just read the article, and then the what steps to take, and that was an article by NHS. It's a UK um, organization that deals with autism, and I listed some, and I'll list some signs, and but yeah, there are some really great articles and some really great resources, and I also will add one that says, "Could my child have autism?" But there's a lot of great resources out there, and there are a lot of companies that have a separate hiring division just for people with disabilities. I know that Microsoft and Boeing are one, um, and I'm sure there's a bunch of others. And so I just want to give a shout out to those companies that recognize the uniqueness within people with disabilities and have given them a platform to be empowered and inspired to to have some sort of normacy, because life is hard regardless, and it's even harder when you have a disability.
Or
So
an extra ability, right? Because the way
yes.
I saw some of my, like, the very first student that I worked with, my main one, I was actually his shadow. I went to all of his classes together, high school. This kid was amazing with numbers. And if anybody remembers the movie Rain Man, how when
Mm-hmm.
those toothpicks dropped and he knew exactly how many, you realized he was saying the number of how many toothpicks that's what that was. That's what this young man did. Not on that level, but he would make tallies on paper. He loved scribbling, da da da. And one day I just counted them. And then I started having to do it a lot because he always had it. Da, da, da. Like his eyes and his hand was so in tune. He knew exactly what he had just scribbled, how many things. And that was like the one thing that he did that was whatever. But I wanted to just experiment and see what else he could do and all this right here. But we had our studies that we had to, it's, like Auntie Michelle was saying, it's earth angels. But the way that I've seen people with this, the reason why they call it a spectrum is because it's so varied as to the other abilities that come along with it. And it's like they are so beyond the average person is kind of the way I see it, that they can't, that's why the sensory gets away. That's why the socialization is not there because they're on a different level than we are, many of them. And it's just very amazing when, like you were saying, how people can flourish when you place them in the right environment or a supportive environment. So yeah, hats off to those companies that give people the space and the support to work their genius out. because there's
Yeah,
a lot of genius to be found on the spectrum.
yes, it is. That it is. Yeah, and so since I've gotten this diagnosis, I now have to reevaluate myself because now I'm trying to figure out, okay, so how much is me is from the trauma, how much is from growing up an only child, and how much is from autism? Because I just had it narrowed down to, okay, well, I'm experiencing this. It could be because of the trauma that I went through, or because I grew up as an only child, and now I have this extra layer. And so now I'm having to do a whole new evaluation, which um is forcing me. Well, I shouldn't say forcing me, but it kind of is to re go through all to re go through the trauma that I experienced growing up. I had dealt with it when I was in therapy back in the 90s. And so now it's like, okay, now I have this extra layer. So now let's take a step back and just really analyze it to see where all the little pieces of the puzzle fall. So, but I would encourage anyone who has had tra- um, trauma, gone through trauma, to not just brush it under the rug and just work on it and and deal with it. And it's easy. Well, it's easy for me to say that because I've done it, but in the beginning, I just kept sweeping it under the rug because I didn't want to deal with it, and I was just like, if I keep sweeping it under the rug, then it's like it never happened. But as we all know, the universe has a way of making you um, do stuff that you don't want to do. So the more you sweep it under the rug, the more the universe is just going to bring it out
Hmm.
and have you look at it. And so I came across this article, and it's called 8 Reasons Why You Should Face Your Trauma. One, you will gain insight. Two, it can help you understand your emotions. Three, it can help you to process your trauma. Four, it will allow you to heal and move on. Five, you will gain control. Six, it can help you to find support. Seven, you will build resilience. And eight, it will help prevent future trauma. And so that last one, where it will help prevent future trauma, I think for me, because I take everything to the extreme, and that has been pointed out to me, and I thought I took everything to the extreme because of the trauma, but now I'm learning that it's a combination of the trauma and the autism, because I get super focused on one thing, and then I just run with it, and it takes a while to get me off of it. And so in that respect, I'm probably, well, I'm not going to say probably. I am going to say I am extra cautious. I am more cautious than the average person. And you guys have pointed that out to me because you guys are like, "Oh, we should do a live podcast." And I'm like, "Heck no. Mm-mm. We're not doing that. I don't want my image out there like that." But yeah. So thoughts on that?
I like those eight that you read. Those were good.
Yes. And very helpful. Any other thoughts?
I I subconsciously, it's not even subconsciously. I still have with my image. I I forget what I look like until I see it in the mirror. I think I've said that before.
yes, and I I did the same, and that's why my therapist um put me on the journey of self-love. Well, that's what I call it, the journey of self-love. Um but I took those tools that he gave me and put them into action. And because it helped me, that's why I wanted to introduce it um in into the segment of the podcast, because it I wanted to help someone else who was suffering with a body image, self-esteem, self-worth. Those are all the things that I lacked. But when you grow up and you're being told that you're stupid and you're worthless and you're not going to amount to anything, I mean, what else are you supposed to think?
And then it's hard to
Yep, it gets in there.
it's hard to get rid of it once it's been implanted for so long.
Yes. Yes. That's why, as part of my affirmations, I I put positive, that I'm grateful for my positive thoughts to help push out all those negative thoughts. Yeah. So not only have I been dealing with my normal anxiety and stress outside of the learning about the autism, my hair started falling out, and so um I've been trying to work on that, getting my stress levels down and working on my anxiety. And I didn't even associate that with hair loss until I came across an article, and it was how stress and anxiety are linked to hair loss. And I was like, wait, what? Okay. I just thought maybe I wasn't using the right moisturizer, because we have to moisturize our hair, and I just thought that, oh, because I switched shampoos. I don't know. I thought it was other things. And I was trying like all those homemade DIYs that you see on YouTube. And some of them, yeah, my hair did not like a lot of that stuff. And so I just thought I was just experimenting too much. And it was causing my hair to fall out. I did not associate it with stress and anxiety. And then one of my favorite what do you call them? YouTube
Influencers, personalities,
yes,
people.
yes, thank you. Because my brain was not working. He did this he did a video about how his hair was falling out due to his anxiety, and I'll link his video. um yeah, I linked the video, but I can't. His real name is Linwood, but I can't remember what at the moment his YouTube name isn't coming to me, because I just yeah, my brain's not really working much today. But have you guys had any um hair loss or anything for anxiety, or does it not affect you that
Mine,
way?
mine is frequent urination, and it's been since I was young. And it's like now out here driving these trucks. If I know we're getting close to the if I'm driving, and we're getting close to the a shipper or anywhere I got to back in when I got to change, and do something that I got to do and get out of other people's way, or I got to use the restroom. So I trained myself out here now to do it. Just like when I was in grade school, I would always ask I would let the teachers know up front when I met them, listen, something's happening. At which my adults around me, they didn't believe there was something. I was called lazy and just every whatever. So I had to figure this out for myself and talk to people for myself. And so before class was over, before the bell rang, we had to go to our bus, or when I started out, I was walking home. I need to go use the restroom because being around the other kids, it always made me feel so anxious because they were always doing something or saying something or whatever, even to each other. It used to make me nervous just being uh, out of supervision with other children. And then being on the bus, I got to wait until I get home to use the restroom. That always caused me anxiety. Or when I get there, the door's going to be locked. So anytime I'm in transition, most of my life, I have I go to the restroom because yeah, anxiety peak, right? And that's a lot of it for me. That's what had the fight or flight is what's happening.
Mm,
And it
okay.
just I'm driven into that for no apparent reason except I'm about to change and do some other activity. It's very weird, even though I know it is. It's still weird because it's not a natural thing. Or also, um, for the past few years, I can't watch like we get the news of a team of miners. They're stuck in the caverns somewhere. I can't watch that. No, 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 because I'm there with them mentally. I'm stuck as well. Or watching people in solitary confinement on a prison movie or show or something. Yeah, I got to turn that off. Y'all just mess me up. Can't watch that. And it's any kind of thought that I might be stuck. That also in that moment I have to use the restroom as well because that was the anxiety trigger and that's the thing that usually happens. I gotta use the restroom. But so that those are the two things for me:
Oh, okay.
changing and seeing somebody stuck somewhere.
Auntie Marva.
I think my only anxiety, um, the only anxiety issue that I have, the only issue that I have that displays my anxiety, let's say it like that, is eating. Is that considered
Mm,
a eating disorder?
it could be because eating disorders are also linked with um, anxiety.
Yeah, there it's a coping mechanism, something that you
Yeah,
give
it's a
yourself to
coping
bring you
yeah.
back to your center.
Yeah, I eat. I get nervous, and like people go through things, and the first thing I do is grab a cup, grab a cigarette. I'd go right to the kitchen.
Okay.
That's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it. Auntie Michelle.
Yeah. With anxiety, like I said it in one of my thoughts, like when I anxiety hit, I'm just gonna shut off. I'm gonna turn everything off. I'd be there, but I used to fight and but now I just shut myself off and just drift off somewhere. I prefer it that way. Let's go. I just drown out and no, I'm not gonna deal with this. 9 out of 10.
Okay. So, what are some ways that you deal with stress?
I eat.
She says she eats. But if you're not in but what if you're but what if food
Not
isn't
able to eat.
available?
Yeah.
Yes.
What
Then
do you do?
what do you
And y'all
what do
know
you do? What is your alternative?
my dresses got pockets. I'm always have something to nibble on.
She
Oh,
said
That's true for us. That's true.
um,
That's yeah.
for
She's known for that.
the whole book. That's horrible, but it is the
that
truth.
okay.
Okay, I'm gonna
Uh,
keep snacks. That's my cigarette because I don't do anything else. Like I don't really drink. I don't need it, and it's funny. I've been buying alcohol, but it's just sitting in there. I don't even drink it. I don't smoke. I don't. I, I'll cry. I have my moments where I'll let my stuff build up. Okay. Now that I'm thinking about it, I like to block it. Like I'll block everything. I'll mentally just shut everything off, like how Michelle do. But I will turn. I won't shut down. I cut it off, and I just channel all my attention on doing something different. Just if I'm in that moment and my head is cloudy, I get up and turn on some music. I get up and I just I just turn it off and just focus on something completely different. 9 times out of 10 is somebody else's situation, business, whatever that has nothing to do with me. What is that?
Mm,
Avoidance.
avoid it. You just said avoidance. So you just avoid the situation altogether. She's like, I can't eat, so I'm just going to avoid it altogether.
Cause I be trying to look at it as if I can't, if there's nothing that I can do to fix this. I like to. I try to work
Mhm.
wise. I always try to. I
Mhm.
in solution. Like, let's go ahead and fix this and get this over with. Because I don't like dwelling on something. I don't like something lingering around. Like, let's just go ahead and fix it, no matter how bad it is, no matter how bad it's gonna hurt, no matter how sad it's gonna make me. In my head, let's just fix it and get it over with. But at
Right.
that moment,
Right.
if I can't change it, then all right, I'm gonna just turn this off and put this over here. And then if a solution come up later, then we'll do it. Ain't nothing I can do about it. I ain't finna cry. But once it builds up and I can't take it anymore, then I will cry. Like when I against the wall and there's so much going on, then I'll break down. I'll break down
Oh,
and cry. And
okay.
then so
Right. So,
you don't
so
want me mad.
Auntie Michelle,
I mean, similar to it's a
Auntie
test. Now,
Michelle.
I just hello. Can you hear
Okay,
me?
yeah, we lost you for a moment. You said similar to, and then we
A
lost
lot
you.
of similarities that she do, because I look at everything now as a test. So I just prepare myself every morning. Be prepared for the test. Is what's gonna rise. So
Mhm.
I eject what I can. I try to engage what I have to tend to. I look for the alternatives. I look for how I'm gonna get myself out of these situations. I do my breathing exercises. I try to make a point of that. Right now, I'm in the book of the powers of Psalms, and I try to go to that. I try to keep that handy, like just because it shows you off for each situation where you can go if it's finance or whatever you're dealing with, whatever chaos you're going with. So I try to read that. I do my meditations, and I always talk to myself. Like when I'm in this truck, I be cussing people out in this truck. But when I'm outside the truck, I try to, I'm trying my best to, with my just react to everything. Everything don't need a reaction. So I'm on that affirmation as of last month to this month. Just start reacting to everything and just try to look at it and go from there. Like if it's not my situation, I'm not gonna pour my energy into it. I try to, safe keep my energy a lot nowadays.
Right. Auntie Janisha.
Well, I again with the repeating, and the way we grew up is like I wouldn't talk, but I've always been pretty expressive about um, what I think I need or all the stuff. Where did I go wrong? All right, what did I do? Um, Always trying to analyze all the things, and it seems to have been, which is that to me was a healthy way, but maybe I just wasn't engaging with people that was able to give it back to me in a healthy way. Not that they may have meant to help me pigeonhole myself, but I feel that I'm pigeonholed now
Mhm.
because I don't know how to talk to people even more, even though I've practiced talking. And um, I just, right now, I feel stuck because nothing is coming out when I'm trying to talk to the people that I'm closest to. It's not coming out. And I'm speaking in a very aggressive way now to just about everybody because I'm frustrated. And it's like nobody is getting what the heck I am trying to say. and I'm not getting what I need. I'm not getting what I desire, what I want. And so it's frustrating. And so, as a classic Capricorn, anxiety for me, stress free for me is working wherever I'm working. It doesn't matter if I'm shoveling uh, the most menial job there might be. I have always been able to do very tedious things because I don't have to be engaging with people.
Right.
And I absolutely have an absolute love for people. But it comes with stress dealing with people,
Yeah.
whether it's me, whether it's them, whatever it is, you're not just always going to be on the same page. And the anticipation of that is stressful. And trying to just engage has been stressful for me. And I've tried to do that. And just not knowing how it's hard, right? So at
Right.
51, it's annoying
Yeah.
because you've just gone down this road and it's gotten you in a certain place. So work for me, and especially this type of work, which is truck driving out here, running these long miles, that's my therapy. I don't, I almost called out for this show, and I keep on showing up to where I gotta show up because that's just how I'm built.
Right.
You have no
Yeah.
idea how every single day for the past week I've been one auntie, I'm not going to be able to do it. But my conscience won't let me do that because I made this commitment. And that falls in a lot of areas of my life where,
Yeah.
okay, this thing right here is happening. Everybody else is counting on this. So I need to show up and do that. And sometimes I walk away just feeling empty because I've given over to that. But I feel like I will, well, in certain instances when I haven't done it, I felt bad also because I didn't show up. So it's kind of just being stuck. But straight answer to your question, for me, being a Capricorn, it's work. And now at this stage in my life, I love being out here because I'm not accessible like that. I can be away.
Right. Yeah. The same for me. Work works for me also being a Capricorn, and um but also reading, listening to music. But this past the past 2 weeks have been the hardest 2 weeks for me. I have just been in this place where I don't want to be bothered, and I don't want to be engaged, and I just don't want I I was just in a place where I just didn't want to do anything, talk to anybody. I like you, I felt stuck. And so the only thing I did was I played The Sims. I played my Sims 4. That's all I did. Um, Normally, I have the podcast up and ready months in advance, but it took me forever to I had like two more articles I wanted to read for this episode, and it took me 2 weeks to do that. I was just so not in the right headspace, and I just wanted to be like, the podcast was fun. We've had a good run. Can we not do it anymore? But I made a commitment to you guys, and I asked for that same commitment level from you guys. So it's not up to me to just be like, okay, I don't want to do it anymore because I made a
Right.
commitment to you guys.
That's
And
what I feel.
when we started this, I was like, okay, if we're not going to be 100% committed, then I don't want to start it, because I don't want to start something and then 2 months down the road where somebody's like, oh, well, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. It's not fun for me. So I have more important things to do. So I'm going to bail out. So I understand. I understand where you're at. Um, but I also, have a therapist that I talk to every 2 weeks, and he picked up on it right away. He was like, "What's going on? You're not your usual happy-go-lucky self. So what's going on?" And I'm like, I'm just in my feelings. I'm in my feelings, I'm in my head, and I'm not sure how to get out of this headspace that I'm in. He's like, "Well, what have you been doing?" I've just been playing The Sims. Oh, okay. He's like, "Well, that's good." He's like, "At least you're doing something." I'm like, "Yeah, but I really should be working on the podcast." And he's like, "Oh, well, what do you have to do for the podcast?" I'm like, "I have two more articles to read for it." And he was like, "Oh, okay. And what is it going to take to get you motivated to read it?" I don't know. He was like, "Well, instead of reading the whole article at once, why don't you read just like, a paragraph of it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, no, I don't even want to do that." He's just like, "Okay." He's like, "Well, when you're ready to do it, you'll do it, you know. But I knew it was coming up, and I allow myself 2 days to wallow. And then after that, no more wallowing. We get our plan and we get our butt in gear and come up with the plan. But it's been really difficult for me being physically disabled, um because I can't get up and go like I want to. And it's been over a year. And so that is is starting to take its toll. Yeah. But I came across this article, and it was how to reduce stress levels, and it was put out by the Tai Chi Foundation. And the first thing that it says is listen to your body. And I was like, that is key, because I listen to my body. Sometimes I ignore it. I'm like, yeah, I want to do that. But for the most part, I do listen to my body. Number two, give meditation a try. Number three, learn breathing techniques and exercises. Number four, harness the healing power of music. And five, get plenty of exercise. Now, I think it was Auntie Michelle who said that she does the meditation. Was it you, Auntie Michelle, that said
I I do
you do?
meditations, I do breathing works, and I wanted to say something else is really helping me. I heard both you and Auntie Janisha say it make you feel selfish not to show up. Sometimes you just can't show up. It's important to be not selfish to yourself. And I don't show up when, even if I make commitments now, I used to feel guilty. But now if I don't feel like doing something, I don't do it. And I don't feel guilty. I'll apologize, but I don't feel guilty because I can make plans, but things happen. Life happens. Life never stops happening. And I always check me in the morning time. What is my energy today? So if somebody start calling me and they want to vent, hey, not today, you know? Or I can. You show it when you can. We're humans.
Right.
I do not allow to feel guilty anymore when it comes to self. And I think we give ourselves too much to everybody. Um, you and Auntie Marvin know what I just experienced, and
Right.
so everybody like, is you sure you want to do this? Yeah, because it's about self. Nobody was thinking about self, me, when they did what they did. So no, I need to do what I need to do to protect self. So me feeling guilty nowadays about protecting self, my energy, my feelings, my emotions. No, I don't feel guilty. And I had to, it was baby steps. I had to keep just doing it and make sure I'm doing it. Another one is I do breathing exercises, I do meditations, and I do the feeling chart. Is the feeling wheel. I check with my emotions. I didn't know it was that many emotions out here, and I try to pinpoint which one I'm feeling. So of course I had to look a lot of them up because I never knew that. I always thought it was mad,
Oh,
angry. I just knew the few. What you when you go in the doctor, you look at, but it's many more, and it's free on Google. You can, and I put it on my phone, and I check with my who. What am I today?
right.
Because just because I said I was going to show up today, I could have woke up and I'm not that in that space. And I don't, and out of selfless of me, do not want to share certain energies with people. So when I'm not in my higher self, I don't want to go around people.
Right.
I don't want to be there until I feel comfortable enough to share that energy with people, and it's not going to be a low vibrant energy. It's going to be my authentic higher self when I show up. So no, I do reject certain things that I say, yeah, I was going to do that. Well, today I woke up, no, I'm not going to do that. And I do not feel guilty.
Right. Well, just to clarify, I don't do things just so I could feel guilty about them later. But the podcast, I love doing the podcast because the podcast is very therapeutic for me. And also
Mhm.
too, and also too, I get to hang out with my three favorite nieces.
Absolutely. No,
Yeah.
I was just
And
making an
that's how I
example of
was
that.
feeling. Like the reason when I show up, I actually feel good after the fact. Some stuff
Yes.
I don't even like. Marva knows because we talked about this a lot. How I'm antisocial, socially antisocial. I don't want to go. I never want to go. Ever want to go nowhere. But once I get there, I actually have fun. So I'm not left with being away. It's always good for me to get out of my own
Mhm.
head, get out of my own way. That's really what it is, getting out of
Hmm.
my own way.
Yes.
But
The
my
same.
thing, oh wow, this is a weird truck stop. My thing though is that what I need from people I often don't get, and that's where I'm missing the energy at. It don't always even be my energy. It's the where I'm not poured back into or where I don't feel that I'm poured back into. That's where mine is. It's the lacking the reciprocalness of a lot of things because I do show up for a lot of people and plan things and do stuff, but it's not always given back because other I don't know whatever I don't know.
w- Yeah, I guess for me, I stopped expecting things from people a long time ago.
Hmm.
So if I give something, I don't expect to get anything back in return because people aren't cut from the same cloth that we're cut from.
True.
And so
Absolutely.
if they give back, cool. I'm appreciative of it. If they don't give back, cool. I'm still appreciative of it because I'm going to be blessed for what I did for them.
That's right.
So
I agree.
you look at it that way and not expect things from people, then you won't you won't be disappointed. And maybe that is a um what is the word that I'm looking for? Maybe that is a oh my gosh, my brain isn't working today. This is what happens when you turn 59. Your thoughts just leave you. Um, but growing up in an abusive environment, I don't expect people to be there for me anyway,
Right.
to be totally honest. Um, and um, and so when they do, I'm just like so appreciative. But
All
if
right.
they don't, it's no skin off my back because I have to be I'm the only person I can rely on anyway.
Hmm.
So but and I don't know if that is a good or bad mindset to be in, but when you grow up in an abusive environment, it 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 what is the word that I'm looking for? It makes you jaded. That's not the word that I'm really looking for, but that's the word I'm going to use. It makes you jaded when it comes to um with dealing with with people.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I
I
don't, I
mean,
would like to add two things on what you said. If you mind, in my journey, two things that I
okay,
do now.
okay, go
Yeah.
back because we missed one of the things that that you said. I
Is
like
my phone breaking up?
it was, yeah. I heard you say the two things.
I wanted to add on what you were saying, two things, because I think I totally agree with everything you're saying. And it was two things I wanted to just share with that is I give myself what I feel other people should give me. On my journey of opening up spirituality to me, always show up for self. I give it to me. And the other part is when I'm now I try to take an understanding of what that person's going through, and I try not to be judgmental because I don't know what they're going through. Everybody don't share everything, so that's a self problem. When people come at me aggressive now, that's why I try to just avoid it. Like, okay, that's a dumb problem. Because if I came in nice and happy go lucky, I don't want that shift change. So you keep that over there. I'm going over here. Or, you know, like when we get to certain shippers, people just they might be going through anything, and I don't. I try not to take it personal now. That's a you problem. That's a self problem, and I'm not going to make it a me problem. You know, so no, I'm not going to pick up your energy. And I came in with a beautiful energy towards you, but you know what? You want to be funky? That's a you problem. Best wishes. You know, and
Yeah.
that's why I kind of just shut off. Like, not for this exchange that with you. And then the other one was, yeah, like you say, no, I'm going to not expect a lot when you're dealing with people because this world is in chaos and it's a lot of people going through things I don't understand because I never went through them. So I try to not judge because I don't know what you're going through. Now, if you want to
Right.
sit and hold an adult conversation, we could do that. But if you're finna, la la la, nope, not gonna do that. I did enough of that in my life. I don't want to even exchange that anymore. I'm good there.
Right. Auntie Marva, any thoughts?
I'm a pimp in my own mind, and I'm a pimp in my own time. So I don't let things get to me like that.
Yeah.
I do my best to try. Let me see. The old me used to hold things in. Oh,
Okay, Auntie Marva, you're breaking up.
can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. The old me used to hold things in, and I would hold it in, and I would hold it in, and I would hold it in, and then I pop. And when I pop, it was like I didn't care what nobody got from it. But of course, that's not the way to operate, right? Because
Right.
that's just getting me in trouble. And so now I kind of do just like what Tamira said. I look at I try to find the good in every situation. And so I'll look at a person and they could be totally showing they behind, but I'll look at the person and question like what's the real motive? Why they really mad? What's the real issue? What's the real issue behind this right here, right now?
Right.
And Michelle, me and you talked about that last weekend. I look at
Yes, we did.
I look at a person and be looking at things like that has given me so much compassion for people, um, and grace for people, to where I rarely get upset now. I rarely get upset now. Yeah, I ain't no pushover. Cause I ain't no killer, but don't push me. Sir
Absolutely.
Tupac Shakur. But I have grown and I have so much compassion for people that I rarely get upset unless there's like some underlying things and I know that this person or this situation really ain't truly what it is, and that's like to feel like somebody trying to play on my intelligence, then I'm like, all right, you want me to unleash the beast. But for the most part, I rarely get upset. I'm in a place where I can honestly say I can look at any situation and kind of provide a good percentage of grace there, because most people, when they are angry or when they're upset, they're not angry at whatever is happening at that time. It's usually some type of underlying issue. So
Right.
I don't know. And I think that's probably why too. Even with me and my eating, I'm in a place where I'm actually been doing really really good with myself, because of that extra grace that I have for other people, because of that extra grace that I have for certain situations, and just stuff don't bother me like that no more. I'll hear it, I'll see it, and it could be, the world could be upside down, but for some reason it just won't bother me no more, because I've noticed in life, even when things turn bad, in a few minutes it's going to be good. So why am I worried about all of this? It's not going to last forever. It's just
Right.
temporary.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. So we're gonna move on to journey of self love. Oh, we lost Auntie Janisha. I think her signal went out. So our index card, we are writing I am smart. And then for our loving connections, building a lasting relationship together, name 5 things you admire about your partner. Auntie Janisha's back. Yay! Welcome back, Auntie Janisha.
Yeah, I'm trying to get pure bad connection here.
Okay. Auntie Marva, we're going to turn it over to you for Career Corner. What you got for us?
Career corner. So for career corner, I know everybody's been having some issues with looking for jobs, and they've been trying to find um, work, and there's been this huge increase for remote work. So I have some sites that you guys can go to find a plethora of remote positions where you're working from home. One is the first one. There's three I have to provide for you. The first one is Flex Jobs. That's F as in Frank, L as in Larry, E as in Elephant, X as in X-ray, jobs with an S.com. Flexjobs.com. The second one is Remotive.com. Remotive, REMOT as in Thomas, I as in Igloo, V as in Victor, E as in Elephant. Remotive.com. And the third is Let's Work Remotely. That's with an LY at the end.com. Let's Work Remotely.com. You can go to those sites. They are free. You can create a profile, put in your resume, put in your past history work, and it will generate some positions in your positions according to your work history and availability, and send you some options to apply for.
Oh, cool. So send me those links and we'll add them in the description.
Cool.
Okay. Now on to open topics. Okay. So if you could invite 6 people to dinner, alive or past, who would be on your guest list? Who wants to go first?
I don't want to go.
Auntie, Nancy, this is supposed to be
I want to
fun.
go.
Okay, go ahead, Auntie Michelle.
My granddaddy Sam. My stepfather would just pass. But I also have Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X. I'll definitely have Madam C.J. Walker. I need some insight on some business.
Okay.
I would.
That's
Baby
five.
girl
We
was
can't
a
have no
hustler.
more. That's five. That's five. That's five.
Yep,
No,
you
I did.
just
Only
did.
did 4.
That was
No,
five.
that was 5. You got one
2
more.
daddies. Oh, yeah. I got one more,
One
and
more.
I will have to say. Oh, oh. I would also like to invite. But dang, I would want 2 of them. Can I have one more, please?
That'll be
See,
seven.
she always,
Because it's two
always
people. I just need to hear what they got.
want to
Cause
change
Already
the
over your
rules.
limit.
okay,
Yep.
if I got to pick, it was either Prince or Michael Jackson, some Pit Michael. But I'm just saying, I want
Okay.
Prince there too. All right.
See, Aquarius. See, people, Aquarius. They
There's
always
so many
want the
others.
rules.
Trust.
They always want the rules to bend to them. I'm surprised you didn't say
Absolutely.
I'm surprised you didn't say your husband, Marcus. What's his real name?
But he's still living. I can go find him sometime. I'm talking about
I
people,
said, I said,
Dead,
yeah.
alive, or dead.
I said alive or past.
Exactly. But see, Michael is still living. Michael, my baby, yeah, baby, you're still living. I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna come across you. But I had to invite the ones who have passed so I could just spend a moment with them. You know what I'm saying? Let's not be selfish.
Okay. I did say alive or past. See,
Absolutely.
she can't even follow the rules. Who's
No, I
next?
knew you said dead or alive. That's why I picked the dead people because they'll only get one day with them. But I'm gonna get a lifetime with Michael J. White as soon as I get my hands on them. Feel me?
Okay.
Okay. I
Yeah, I was expecting you to say him.
girl, I'm on the search. Just like you got Lim on your watch, I got Michael J. Watch on mine. And trust and believe. Ah,
I'm inviting Liam to my dinner party. So who
right.
wants to go next? Auntie Janisha, do you want to go next? I think she's in the fuel station. She's getting fuel. Auntie Marva, are you ready? She's like, look at that face.
So, of course, my daddy. I need my daddy.
Yeah.
And since Michelle couldn't do Prince, I'll take Prince
Okay.
because that's my boo. I definitely need me some Bobby Womack because that's my
Okay.
dog.
Mm.
And I always thought that I would work with him, and then he died, and that's just the most ghetto thing ever. Um, I would invite two more people.
Yes.
I would also invite. I would invite. Okay, we got Prince, my daddy. I need somebody that my daddy can relate to, so that this is an enjoyable meal for everybody. Because I don't think Daddy was a music head, and me and Bobby Womack and Prince would be in our own little corner. So I would
Right.
have to invite Red Fox because him and Daddy would have a lot to talk about, and plus they'll make the whole conversation funny. I'm gonna change that. I don't want Red Fox. I would like to have. Well, yeah, I keep Red Fox, and
Yeah,
then
you got two more.
the last one will be Bernie Mac and one alive person. I want somebody that's alive. I need some other female energy.
Whitney.
Whitney was
Whitney's not
that's
alive.
that's too much energy.
Oh, ooh, my
That's
bad.
that's too much energy.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I would.
you know how I feel about my spirits, girl. So
I know, but
that's a whole nother topic.
I can't control her. That's she's gonna take over the.
Right.
So
Oh,
I
you
would
still got Patty, LaBelle. You got all of them, girl.
I
Big. They live.
live.
I don't know how they feel about your dead thing. Yes, but yeah.
Lettucey. I would invite Lettucey because I'm a music head.
Oh,
I love.
yes.
No,
Okay.
no, 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 no. I love her, but
India Reed.
I love her too. But I want a philosopher.
Mm,
I want a
Mm,
philosopher. So I would probably go with Wise King Solomon.
okay.
nice.
That's a nice guest list. I didn't know half the people you mentioned, but okay.
So Wise King Solomon, you know who that is.
Yes.
Daddy, you know who that is. Prince, it's
I
my
know who
dog.
Prince
That
is. Yes. I just didn't know who Red Fox was.
Red Fox is from Sanford and Son, the old daddy.
You know.
And then Bernie Mac is another comedian. Mm, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I just didn't recognize those two names. I was like, okay. The other people I recognize, but those two, no. Okay, so since Auntie Janisha is still doing the fuel, so I'm gonna do mine. So mine, of course, is gonna be my dad because I love my dad. My nana, can't have a party without Nana. And of course, I have to invite, my sister Vi, my sister Linda, my brother James, and Liam. And Liam Neeson. That's my whole
She
dang
did
family.
7.
Was that 7? Oh, sorry. Well then,
Mm-hmm.
um, oh, sorry. I
Either
thought
way, I'm coming to your party because I love me some Auntie Linda.
I,
I'm
Auntie
sure that
Donna.
you and Marvels.
Huh?
She says she showed up to all of ours. I think Auntie John is still in the. I think she's stuck. She might be stuck. Okay, so what's the last thing you bought online that you really love?
um, let me go to my thing, my past purchases and see what's in
Oh,
the bug.
I bought my heating cup where you can just plug it into your cigarette lighter,
Uh huh.
and that's how I do my teas. I love my cup. It just cracked, and I just ordered another one.
Oh, okay. So mine was a Ninja blender. It's a little one. It's a personal one that you can carry with you, but I use it to make salad dressings because I was making my
Nice.
I was re- I girl I was using my big blender to make a little tiny thing of salad dressing. I was like, I need something
Yeah.
smaller. Auntie John, are you with us yet?
So the last thing that I've purchased that I really love is my castor oil. Well, can I say two things?
Sure.
Castor oil. It's my new thing. I'm gonna show y'all. I've been using it every single day, twice a day, and it's been getting me right, y'all. Cause woo 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 woo.
Woo 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 woo.
Mhm. Yes, child.
I think I got it in the bed.
I
look,
got my castor too that I ordered, my black
look,
castor,
look. It's
and
in
I
the
love
bed.
mine.
It's
Yeah,
I've been trying to
Ooh,
find this been in the bed with me because I go to bed every night.
yeah.
that's the same one I have. Yeah, I
And every
love that one.
Oh,
It don't have a taste. I love it. I do a drop of it. Well, Auntie Marva had to tell me to put it under my tongue, so I didn't even know that. But
well,
now
I
I use
ain't
it under
been
my
putting it under
tongue.
my tongue. I ain't even been putting it under my tongue. I've been putting it in my navel, and then let me show y'all the whole little ritual. So I put this in my navel for 5 drops. That's all you need after the shower, and then I make sure my navel is clean, and I just clean it with a little alcohol and a Q-tip or a cotton ball. But I lay down and I put 5 drops of this in my navel, and I just use my hand and just rub, circle of motion clockwise because you want to follow the track of your intestines. And then I just rub circle of motion. I start in my navel, but then like the excess end up using that, and I go in a circle of motion clockwise, right?
mm-hmm.
Then I take this little towel, this little hand towel, and I place this over my stomach, like so, like that. Tap it to brown. I put it on my stomach like this, right?
Okay.
And
Uh-huh.
then I have this Ziploc bag because I don't want my towel to get my thing to get oily. So I just take this and put it on top of the towel, and then I put my heating pad. I put my heating pad on top, and I just do that for like 5 minutes at nighttime when I'm going to bed, and
Mm-hmm.
5 minutes in the morning when I wake up. At nighttime, it end up being like an hour and a half because I end up falling asleep with it on because it brings me down. It brings my body down. I'm able to relax. I'm able to I end up not even having to watch TV, nothing. I make sure everything that I need to do is done. And then when I wake up and if I feel like my body's hot, I just snatch it off, throw it on the floor. Because it got one of them handles that you squeeze and it get hot and you let it go.
Yeah.
And I just kind of tuck it up under my leg to hold it so I can just relax. And if
Uh,
y'all but it's my skin is moisturized. I'm not as ashy as I usually be when I get out the shower. My
Mm-hmm.
my elbows ain't as dry. Like I really started doing it to focus on my wound care, like restore my ovaries, and it helps break down fibroids and cysts, and rebuild up my uterus, and it gets rid of it detoxes the liver and the kidney, because I remember we used to feed through our umbilical cord. The umbilical cord
Right.
is to eat with, but we can still eat through it. We just don't feed it. So you can do navel pulling, is what the islanders call it, navel pulling. You
Oh, okay.
put the stuff in your navel and heal your body.
Oh,
And
cool.
yeah, I can't do all her rituals, but yes, I do. In the morning, I drop it in my mouth, and at night, I drop it in my navel because I do fight with fibroids as well, and that's what got me back on it. And I will oil my feet because your feet will soak up as well, and I put it in my hair. So sometimes when I'm freezing my hair instead of that, I just drop it in and part. So I'm 100 off that. That was one of the truths. Online. Yeah, I gotta order me some more because I'm out. But yeah,
Okay.
that
And
castor oil really works.
so if you ordered it through Amazon, send me the link so I can put it on our affiliate links.
Uh,
I should order mine on Amazon. I mean on TikTok.
I order
Uh,
mine through Walmart, because if you order it through Walmart, you can get I get the 3-pack,
Oh, well, we well
sixteen
that
ninety nine.
well that is one of our affiliates as well because I put that on there for you guys.
Let me get it, and
Yeah,
I'll send you the link.
yeah. So send me the link and where you purchased it from, and then I'll add it. And so if our listeners want to get it, they can. We'll make it easy for them. Well, guys, guess what?
We're at the end of the road.
Yep, we have come to the end of the road. We are at the end of another episode. It's always so sad when it ends. I'm always so sad. But I just want to thank our listeners for joining us again and supporting us. And we love you guys. And we hope that you're getting um, something out of our show, even if it's laughter, as long as you get something. And please let us know what you like about the show, what you don't like about the show. We'll we want to know because we just want to grow and improve. And until next month, namaste.
Namaste. Later.